Any thoughts on tonight's game?
Very frustrating. I think all of us inside there very frustrated. We spoke quite open and honest at the end of the game in the dressing room there. The result disappointing, kind of overall performance. What I know this kind of squad can do, myself, all the players in there. Disappointing.
With news stating that Louis Baker has committed himself to play for the Jamaica Men's National Team, could his entrance immediately improves Jamaica's midfield? Join Premier 7 right now for the Big Chat. Make every effort matter and always make the following effort better than the last one. This is a quote selected from Herman J., as this speaks directly to the impactful knowledge of knowing that Louis Baker has long gone stated that he would like to commit to the Jamaica Men's National Team. But speaking of effort, JFF, they have made the effort before, and we all would love for that to be more than just a normal effort. People, welcome to Premier 7. I am your host for the day or for the show, Ryan Nelson. This video is one that I hope that will have an impact on you in a positive way as we gear up as Jamaican fans in ensuring that the belief will become a reality. Of course, as you can see, Premier 7 have 1,716 subscribers. If you're new, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you are already a subscriber, you know what to do. So today's episode will take into consideration the topic of importance: will Louis Baker make the Jamaica Men's National Team stronger? Reggae Boyz analysis, a topic that can be broken down and will be broken down in several parts. I will speak about just a quick background on Louis Baker. How can he help Reggae Boyz? And will he be a game changer? And then I will conclude. But before I dive into the matters of the video, I want to point out a poll that was being done on my end, and it speaks directly to Louis Baker has chosen Jamaica as a country to represent, but can GFF obtain his signature in 2025? So far, 81 votes, which is absolutely amazing, 6 likes. But the standard part of the poll, of course, speaks about your views. 85% stated that I believe they can, 9% stated I am uncertain, and 6% stated I don't think so. Of course, massive shout out to the fan base, of course, and I have to give Donovan a shout out here on Premier 7. He stated that anything can happen. Well, anything is possible because we already know that Louis Baker is one of those persons who has been in the pipeline for Jamaica for a couple months, years, well. And of course, the obvious truth is that Jamaica isn't a top country in football. And I'm going to replay the video that I used to start this episode on Louis Baker. Because the truth always hurts, but the truth can become something that we can use to improve.
Please, what's your opening thoughts on tonight's game?
very frustrating. I think all of us inside there very frustrated. We spoke quite open and honest at the end of the game in the dressing room there. The result disappointing, kind of overall performance. What I know this kind of squad can do, myself, all the players and that in there. Disappointing.
This is something that we always hear, that Jamaica have a squad of players who can make an impact. And many times, as fans, we are left disappointed. Yes, we're seeing small growth, but let's reflect on the game that was played against Trinidad. Yes, I understand that some of our top players weren't there, but come on, we're not playing football as to how we would love to see. So we're not going to run away from the reality. We have to stick to such, because only that can let us know how well we can do and what we're doing currently. So, of course, just a quick background talk on Lewis Baker. He plays for Stoke City as a midfielder, one that has impact the game, of course, so far. Stoke City is the club that Lewis Baker has made his name, and even though he hasn't played so much of a game this season, he has been performing in the aspect of scoring a goal or two as a midfielder. So in the championship thus far, Lewis Baker made 19 appearances, 2 goals, but in terms of his consistency as a starter, we're seeing that 37% starting 11. In terms of minutes covered, 36%. Goal participation, 8%. Now, obviously, we have to say then that Lewis Baker, as a midfielder, as a central midfielder to be honest, has not been playing so much of a game for Stoke City. Is it a case of injury? Maybe, maybe not. But you know what football is. There will be players who will take your spot. And Lewis Baker being 29 years of age right now, and somebody who is above 6 foot, yes, Jamaica needs somebody like that because he'll be an upgrade. But we have to look on the obvious truth. Will this man help Jamaica right away? Because guess what? World Cup is right around the corner, and we need for the midfield to improve, because the midfield is where the game is won and where the game is lost. Now, I have to say that Lewis Baker is a player who have passing vision. He have leadership quality. As you can see on the screen here, you're seeing the armband on his left hand. That means that he can lead Jamaica if there's a need to. And we know Lewis Baker is a player who is commendable with his set pieces. So a player who has the ability to score goals for Jamaica, create an impact, because it has been done before and we saw that with our eyes. So it's not like we're freestyling anything, but he's a guy that can make the impact where deemed necessary. And Jamaica has yet to score any goals in a long time from the set piece area, and having a Lewis Baker in place, that can be a massive threat. Now, how can he help the Reggae Boys? We spoke about the fact that the midfield is where the game is won and lost, and Jamaica midfield have some players who needs improvement, and we have players who can make or is already an option. For example, Bobby Reid at times will drop into the midfield, and he's one of Jamaica's most consistent player, but he needs assistance and he needs help. He needs players around him who can then get him playing his best football, because you can be a proper footballer, but if your team is weak, then you will not be able to be as impactful as you are, because it is not a one-man sport, it is a team sport. And of course, Jamaica needs midfielders who can instantly upgrade our team. Now, Lewis Baker is a central midfield player, and we believe that based on his ability to use his intuition to make passes, he has vision, then he will connect the dots where deemed necessary in the midfield. Am I saying he will make an impact right away? I cannot say yes and I cannot say no, but his quality is there. So I would say hopefully he will do so. Jamaica is known for playing long ball football, so we're seeing that there's not much utilization of the midfield. So the midfield is somewhat absent because guess what? There's no one who is coming for the ball to have the vision to pass the ball to say a Bobby Reed where deemed necessary, or if they play Latibody in the midfield again, let's say as I see them who run up ahead of, let's say Lewis Baker is in the team, then the connection that Lewis Baker could have with the backline to give the ball to a Latibody who will then find a Bobby Reed is what I can say then is utilizing the importance of the midfield and eliminating the unwantedness of making long passes at all times. Because the more you put the ball in the air, then guess what? Based on our opposition teams in the CONCACAF region, and if Jamaica do make it to the World Cup, it will be more difficult to win the ball in the air. So, in that sense, now I spoke about the fact that he can be an upgrade to Jamaica midfield, and he have experienced, of course, as we should touch up on in playing in the championship for Stoke City. Yes, Stoke City may not be playing their best football, but it's a club that have rich history of playing in the Premier League before, so it's not a bad club. They have been in the championship for a while now, but one of those top championship team, and normally we would say, oh, you not play for a big team. Well, in the championship, Stoke City have history, so it's not a bad thing to say. We know that Lewis Baker is a player who have impact in the midfield by being a playmaker, but of course, defensive work rate, he can bring a balance to the midfield. Can he be the man that we can say then that, oh, he will be the man to impact us right away? If the rightful tools are in place, if his mind is there, I mean, yes, but we're not looking for players who will just come and because of World Cup, they want to play World Cup and cut. We need players who can, if even if it is short-lived, leave an impact then on the national team, that there is going to be measures in place or standards in place that JFF would say, if you're not playing up to this expectation, then you're not on the national team's level. It is really strange when you can compare yourself to a player who is professional or to say you're better than that player. That is something that I would say is a turnoff. And even though Lewis Baker is a player who have potential, he possesses weaknesses as well and concern that we have to think about. The CONCACAF region is blessed with different talents, and we're seeing whereas teams are improving, 80 is a very crucial example. Whereas you cannot just say 80 is a team that you can beat because of physicality, power, presence. 80 is one of those teams that I believe have what it takes to even beat big teams like Jamaica. Well, based on the level of expectation, Jamaica will be a big team for 80, and 80 can cause upset for Jamaica. And in a Lewis Baker situation now, it can be an issue for him in terms of adapting to the physicality and unpredictable style in the CONCACAF, because he may be used to a one way of playing football in England, and to play against teams like Mexico, you will have to be good because they're very frisky. They don't take risks like that, but they're a powerhouse team. Regular times, Mexico makes it to the World Cup. So if you're gonna have a Lewis Baker in our midfield who cannot adapt to how we want for Jamaica to play as fans, then it will be the basic thing that Jamaica will always be playing boring football, because having big names in the squad and not being able to establish a style of play, then that is on the players and also on the coach. And will he have a long-term commitment though to the national team? Well, to me, I may believe that he may not, based on his age profile, and things do happen in life. So I'm going to touch upon the other segment of the video, but of course, I just want to say again, people, please go ahead and subscribe if you are new to Premier 7, and if you are already a subscriber, you know what to do. All right. So the other aspect of the video that speaks directly about Lewis Baker is, will he be a game changer? It is not obvious to state that he will be, because he will need time to upgrade. But if he is properly integrated into the squad, by way of having some proper training sessions and getting that comfort, because your comfort is important, then he could be the missing link. Comparison can be made with him being a proper footballer, because we have players like Ravel Marson, who, if given the chance at this stage, for which I thought he did, and the continuation in terms of runs of game, then we can say, all right, a connection can be made. Jamaicans love Ravel Marson. He is a player who historically was at Manchester United, and many persons talked good about him, coach his players, but I am not up for that. I don't want to be relying on the history. I want to see impact right now, or glimpse of brilliance that I can see instantaneously or close to instantaneously. This player is good enough. And if he can adapt to Coach Al Grimson's, here we go. I am gone in the past talking about Al Grimson. But if he can adapt to Steve McLaren's tactics, for which is yet to be established, then he can be a player who can impact Jamaica. Because the thing is, Steve McLaren is a fan of Lewis Baker. And, of course, getting him in, but in the rightful system, then himself and others will be an upgrade for Jamaica. Now, do you think Lewis Baker will improve Jamaica midfield? Would he start, if he comes, in the World Cup qualifying games? Because we have some games to be played. We are very close in terms of reaching to the next stage, but we need the players to, to represent. So I've spoken about the importance of Lewis Baker in terms of his background, how he can help the Reggae Boyz, and will he be a game changer? The future can dictate that, but we can believe, if all goes well, if this player is a proper player, we will know then that he can make an impact if all goes well. So just a flashback, people. Will Lewis Baker make the Jamaica Men's National Team stronger? This is my analysis being done on the player. So it is for you now as fans to let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section, and of course, when you do so, Premier 7 will be on board to reply. All right, so take care. Goodbye until we meet again.